It is the BQ Day, and thank you so much for joining me. Still in the studios is Mr. Willaim Gelling, the British High Commissioner to Rwanda, also the non-resident ambassador to Burundi. Nice to still have you here.
Nice to be here.
And like we ended on a note where NYEMINA Elijah was making it known that the situation in Burundi is worsening day by day. And it shows that most of the development partners, or what we call the biggest players on the international community, notably UK, has not done anything much that we can see to at least pacify Burundi. What has been done, or what is your country doing to mitigate the situation in that country?
Well, let me just start by saying, for us, for the UK, Burundi is by far the biggest and most serious issue in the region. And it's one that really worries us because the government has become very dug in and very unresponsive and inflexible. And that's a situation that worries us very much. I don't agree that the UK and the international community has not acted. I think actually there have been some quite tough actions taken. You may know that the US and the EU in the last few weeks have introduced sanctions against a lot of the people who are in the president's entourage. Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany and various other countries have suspended their aid, and they are amongst the biggest donors to Burundi. And the UK, the US and other European countries have suspended military training there, which of course is important for sending troops to AMISOM. So I think those are quite big steps. In addition, we are applying as much political pressure as we can to the Burundian government to say that several things really need to happen to bring Burundi back to a more peaceful situation. In particular, a genuine dialogue with the opposition. Secondly, the restoration of law and order and an end to violence. And third, the restoration of the private media. Because as you may know, it's very hard to find out what's going on for the ordinary Burundian now. And we will continue to do those things, but we are making strenuous efforts to try and achieve those things. And I think the other question really has to be what more the region, especially the EAC, can do to put pressure on Burundi to change course. Very
good. And still on Burundi issue, NSHUTI Eddy comes in. Do you contemplate or envisage a possible genocide in Burundi?
Well, I don't personally. I mean, I know people are worried about that, and I know in particular there is concern about an ethnic element to comments that the Burundian government has made. But as far as the information I have at the moment goes, we are not seeing ethnic interactions that are dangerous, and I hope that will stay that way. But we will remain very live to that.
Away now from Burundi, now we are done with some of the questions that were sent in. Who do you think should make decisions in a country, or who should determine how things should be done in the country and why?
In any country?
In any country.
Well, so for us, the key thing is that there's a clear expression of popular will. So in the UK, for example, that means we have different tiers of government, all of which are elected. And for us, the key thing is that people are able to express their views, and they have a multiplicity of different parties or organisations that they can do that through.
People, did you mean the population, the local residents in a country, in a given country?
Exactly.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking that is because we've seen many donors suspend their aid or their budget support to different developing countries based on decisions that are taken or based on baseless accusations of any country. Why do you think that happens?
Well, all donors have a responsibility to their own taxpayers, because just as you say, decisions should be taken by people in the country. Yep. Decisions in donor countries are taken by their people. And so in the case of, in cases where aid has been suspended, it's frequently because there is political pressure from the government, on the government at home, to either send a signal or to no longer give aid in the same way.
Okay. Now, in 2013, you featured on the honors list of OBE. You know, some people may see that as one of your status. I may not understand being the Order of British Empire. What does that mean to you?
So that's an award that I was very proud to receive. It's given by the Queen, and it recognises a particular thing. And in my case, it recognised the service I gave to our previous Foreign Minister as his private secretary. And it's a way of publicly acknowledging some good service, so I was proud to receive that.
You've talked about the Queen, and it reminds me, in your country's system of governance,
yes,
who takes the topmost decisions? Is it the Queen or the Prime Minister?
So our Queen is our head of state, and when the UK is represented at the most high-level things abroad, it is the Queen that does that, state visits, that kind of thing. But all the political decisions are made by the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. So for us, any normal decisions are made by the Prime Minister. So he is, in day-to-day terms, he is my boss. But when I sit here in Rwanda, I am representing the Queen. So we have a split role.
Very good. Are you also a sports fanatic? Because English Premier League is from the UK. What is your favourite team?
Well, I'm keen on it, and the thing that's really struck me in Rwanda is when you drive out in the tiniest village, you see a TV on in a house and it's showing Premier League.
Yeah.
So I live in London in a place called Islington, which is very close to the Arsenal Stadium. So it's Arsenal.
So you're for Arsenal, and how is it faring?
It's doing all right. It had a good match yesterday, and I know that there's quite a lot of senior people here who follow Arsenal as well. So it's doing well, but as with all teams, there's lots of challenges coming down the pipe, and so we wish them luck.
Thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And thank you so much for your questions that keep coming in, that are addressing to our top leaders, and also bring them to tell us some of the certain things that we want to know. And this is a bridge for you that you can also use to find out about certain things. So thank you so much for your questions. I'm Immy, MULEKATETE, KALEMA. Wishing you a wonderful time. Keep it at RBA. A lot will be coming your way.